Good afternoon, everyone. We will discussing now about floral whorls. I am Dr. Tuwar Ashok from Arts, Commerce and Sonai College. Floral whorls, that is accessory whorls, calyx and corolla. Calyx is out of four whorls, it is outermost whorl. It is made up of white sepals and it is green in color, protective in function, and we can study the calyx by using the following botanical terms. Number of sepals, 5 in hibiscus, 4 in catharanthus. Then cohesion of this, according to cohesion, they are divided into polypetalous and gamo, polysepalous and gamosepalous. In polysepalous, the sepals are free, so they are called as polysepalous. Then the example is cassia, and in gamosepalous, the sepals are fused, for example, datura. Then the uh, astuation we can see in corolla. In calyx, there are different types of calyx, and according to their duration, they are divided into different types. First type is uh, caducus. In this type, the sepals falling off early or prematurely. The example of this is poppy. Then the deciduous, the calyx falling off along with the petals just after fertilization, and their example is brassica. Then third one is persistent. In persistent calyx, they are remaining attached in the with the fruit also. For example, the tura, brinjal. There are two types of persistent. First one is macrescent, a persistent calyx assuming several dried or appearance, for example, tomato. And accrescent, a persistent calyx growing in size with the fruit, for example, pomegranate. Then modification of calyx. First modification is petaloid calyx. In this modification, the sepals which are typically green and protective but become enlarged and brightly colored, resembling with petals. This adaptation can be attract pollination as the petaloid calyx can be mistaken for a corolla, the collection of that is petals. Example is Musanda bougainvillea. Then second type is Pappus, Pappus calyx. Here the sepals transform into hairy, feathery or scaly structure. This modification is common in the Asteraceae family like sunflower and adds in seed dispersal by allowing the seeds to be carried by the wind from one place to another place. For example, sunflower, sonchus, safflower. Then third one is spurred calyx. In this case, the sepals are modified into beak-like or spur-like structure. These spurs can serve as landing platform for pollinators or store nectar, attracting them to the flower, for example, delphinium. The second essential whorl is corolla. It is the second whorl of floral leaves in succession from outside, and the individual members of their petals, group of petal is called as corolla, and the corolla is brightly colored other than green. And the petals may be united or they may be free. When they are united, then they are called as gamopetalous. When they are free, then they are called as uh, polypetalous corolla. Example of polypetalous corolla is brassica, and gamopetalous corolla is hypomea or datura. Then the aestivation. Aestivation is nothing but the arrangement of floral leaves or accessory leaves in the bud condition. There are 5 different types of aestivation, that is valvate, twisted, imbricate, quincunxial, and maxillary. First type is valvate. In valvate, the sepals or petals just touch to each other at the margins, but do not overlap. For example, calotropis. Then second type is twisted. In this type, one margin of the petal overlap the another margin of the petal, or next. It creates the twister appearance. For example, hibiscus, or also it is found in cotton. Then third type is imbricate aestivation. In this type, the sepals or petals overlap each other, but not in any particular direction. Uh, in imbricate aestivation, there are one petal or sepal is completely inner and one is outer, and others overlapping and overlapped. For example, cassia. Then fourth and most important type is maxillary. This is a maxillary aestivation. In family Papilionaceae, or it is a particular example of family Papilionaceae. Characteristic of the family Fabaceae or Papilionaceae, with a large standard, it is the outermost and large standard, and two lateral wings which are overlapped by standard, and these wings overlapping two small petals, these are called as uh, keel. So it is divided into single large petal or sepal, that is called as standard, which covering two wings. These are two wings, and these are covering overlapping the two small petals called as keel. Example of this is pure bean. Then last one is quincunxial. In this, there are aestivation. There are 5 petals are present, and out of 5 petals or sepals, there are 2 petals or sepals are completely inner and 2 are outer, and one is overlap and overlapped. And the example of this is ranunculus. Then forms of corolla or types of corolla. There are different forms of corolla, or the collection of petals in a flower can be broadly categorized as a polypetalous or gammapetalous. Poly means free, gamma means fused. With further variation based on shape and arrangement, here it is categorized or differentiated into different types. First is polypetalous, free petals. First type of polypetalous is cruciform. There are 4 petals are present. There are These 4 petals are like a cross. They crossing to each other like a cross. So like a cruise. So this type of form is called as cruciform type of corolla. An example of this is Brassica, Brassicaceae family. Then second is Caryophyllaceae. There are also 5 petals, but in this there are Claws and limbs are positioned at right angle to the claws and characteristic of the Caryophyllaceae family, that is, for example, pink flower. Then third one is rosaceous corolla. Five sessile petals with outermost spreading limb found in the Rosaceae family, for example, wild roses. And last one is, fourth one is Papilionosis corolla. There are five petals arranged to resemble a butterfly with a large standard petal, which is outermost, which is covering two lateral petals. These are called as wings, and two fused petals. These are called as uh, kill. And the example of this is, or this is a particular identity of family Fabaceae, for example, bean. The forms of gamopetalous or fused petalous. First form is campanulate, or it is also called as bell-shaped. Petals form a bell-like structure or bell-shaped structure as seen in one of the species. Then second is rotate. Uh, it is a wheel-like rotating, the corolla or the petals rotating, uh, and the corolla has very short tube-like tube and a flat circular limb as seen in Solanum. Then third one is tubular. Tubular petals form a tube-like structure common in disc florets of the flower like sunflower. The example of disc floret. Then hypocateriform or salver shaped. The corolla has a long tube that is longer than the limb, and the limb is flat as seen in period. Then infundibulariform. Next type is infundibulariform or funnel shaped. In infundibulariform, there are the petals form a funnel shaped or funnel like structure. Uh, Example of this is petunia. Then third type is gamopetalous but fused petals. The example of this is ligulate and bilobate. Ligulate, that is strap shaped. The corolla is strap shaped as seen in ray florets of sunflower, and in bilobate there are two leaves are present, upper leaf and lower leaf. Their example is Ocimum sanctum or Saliva. Last one is perianth, calyx corolla and perianth. Perianth is nothing but a non-distinguished whorl, that is non-distinguished corolla and calyx or sepals and petals, which is called as perianth. In perianth, the perianth is the collective term for the non-reproductive parts of flower, that is surrounding the reproductive organ, stamens and pistil. It is a term used to describe the non-essential world when there is no distinguishing into sepals and petals. The individual member of a perianth is called as tepal, or the perianth is made up of with group of tepals. The tepals may be free or tepals may be united. When the tepals are free, then the perianth is called as uh, gamotepalous, gamophilous, and polyphilous when they are free. Thank you.